Batteries fully charged. Launch ready for AEW Spark in 3, 2, 1. All Elite Wrestling discussion is live. Cue.
Emmy. It's solo AEW Spark this week. Main reason being is because with WrestleMania week happening, our schedules could not link up for the life of us. Can you tell it's fucking WrestleMania week when that happens? So this is the best way we could do it. I really wanted Noah on this one because holy shit was this match incredible, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to be the only solo guy covering the Vikingo match that he had with Kenny Omega. By the way, AEW has successfully made me want to buy a AAA pay-per-view, which I don't even know how long it's been since I wanted to do that. I don't know if I've ever wanted to do that. I think the last time might have been 3 years ago, and before that, it was never. So yeah, they did a pretty good job on that. Although, I probably would have bought it anyway if Natalia Markova and Taya Valkyrie were in that trio. So, God bless to both of them. But, you know, I digress. Buy the shirt. I'm still going to plug his stuff because his stuff is important to plug. So, yeah, you guys should go check that out. So, with that being said, we're going to just get right into it. It's AEW. We're going to be covering Dark Elevation, Dark Dynamite, and Rampage from week 12. This week, we are going to be covering everything after WrestleMania. We're probably going to do it earlier in the day than we usually do it, just because we want to make sure that all this shit is just done and over with, really. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but for right now, it's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. So let's get into it. So, the first match was Sky Blue taking on TFA. It was pretty much a somewhat competitive jobber match. TFA attacked Blue before the match started, which seemed to happen to her a lot. If you were wondering what TFA stands for, it stands for Taryn from Accounting. I guess she really likes accounting. Didn't know that until I read this. Don't care. By the way, my sources, folks, are from Wrestling Observer, PW Mania, and AEW's website for Rampage and Dynamite. So there you go. So I got the dark results from Wrestling Observer and PW Mania. So there you go. But yeah, I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. Yeah. So Tina from Accounting, I guess. TFA. I'm just gonna fucking. I don't care. I'm just gonna call it Taryn. Taryn had some of the crowd behind her, being from Canada and all, and went to a couple of quick pins that Blue kicked out of. Blue rolled her up and then hit a few elbows and followed up with a high crossbody for a 2 count. Blue kicked out of a side slam-esque move. Out of the shoulder carry, landed a kick and hit her with a running sunset flip powerbomb for the win. She moves on to take on Toni Storm on this Wednesday's Dynamite. We will get to that. That was a great match, actually. Jake Hager then went on to... Actually, I always forget we do thoughts here. I'm jumping ahead. TFA was nice. She did okay. But, in my opinion... It was a nothing match, but there you go. Now we move on to Jake Hager versus Adam Knight. Hager was joined by Angelo Parker, and of course, he had his purple hat on. He really likes that hat. Hager made sure to connect a belly-to-back suplex before he took it off. Knight hit a warp around on Hager and a lariat off the ropes that stunned him. And then Hager came back with his own lariat, followed by the running middle rope splash for the win. the last squash match that Hager had, this was not. This is a very nothing. We've seen Jager do these moves before match. So it is what it is. Adam Knight was okay. Emi Sakura defeated Zoe Sager. This was basically another jobber match. It was decent, but nothing to write home about. Zoe Sager looked okay in this. But Wrestling Observer apparently has a fun fact, but we'll see how fun it is. Sager is the LPW Grand Champion out in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I did not have fun with that fun fact. Anyway, she was taking on the Queen here tonight, and it didn't go very well. Sakura toyed with Sager early on, and using hair pulls, back rakes, and chops, but Sager still kicked out of the pin attempts. Sakura quickly got her up for a tiger driver, but Sager fought out. After absorbing a dropkick from the top rope, Sakura kicked out and then hit a neckbreaker off a counter. She followed it up with a crossbody in the corner and a submission you have to see to believe. Yeah, this submission was basically, and judging by this GIF here, and I'm looking at the GIF, it was a rolling Mexican surfboard stretch, aka, ow, this is very painful. And then she locks in pretty much a dragon sleeper while she's still got the legs trapped in the Mexican surfboard stretch position. Meaning, the body was not meant to bend that way, and that was a really cool goddamn submission move that I don't know if you could pull out anybody up but this woman, because this woman seems very stretchy to be able to pull that off, and it still looked painful. So, yeah. Yeah, there you go. That was a fun little jobber match there. Very good submission there by one Emi Sakura. Oh my god. I have no idea if I've ranted about this once on this program yet. Brandon Cutler defeated Jason Granger. I think it's how you... Granger, whatever. I don't even care. Cutler got a big reaction from the Canadian crowd. Possibly because he's miraculously undefeated on Dark Elevation this year. He may be 1-0, but still undefeated. I'm sure you're so happy about that, Alvarez and company. Gray Hair, or whatever the fuck his name is, I'm just gonna call him Jason. Jason showed off some technical wrestling early on with a vertical suplex and a knee bar. By the way, he actually is a very good technical wrestler, this guy. But Cutler found the ropes. Cutler was in the corner trying to fix his shoes, as Menard and Wright suggest that he might be pumping them up. Impossible since he's wearing Jordan 1s, but I digress. Buy the shirt. Cutler had a couple of elbows. Yeah, he had a couple of elbows. He hit the Big Bill elbows. The Empire elbows. I'm not kidding. So yeah, that happened. Show some dance moves and an airplane spin that made him dizzier than Jason. When he hit a second airplane spin, they both fell onto each other. Jason turned the pin into a rear naked choke, but Cutler flipped out into a pinning combination for the win. After locking it in like 3 times before that, by the way. And now his win streak on Elevation is 2-0. Alright. I'm gonna say it like it is. The fact that you wasted this motherfucker when he actually had a really cool gimmick prior to this, and then you have him in the jobber stable. Or the jobber, he's basically in the B team of the Elite with Nakazawa. I like Nakazawa, and I like Brandon Cutler. But if you're not going to treat them seriously, and they're going to be comedy acts, I kind of get it with Nakazawa, because he always was a comedy act. But Brandon did not need to be a comedy act. And you know it, Tony. So if you're not going to fucking make him anything else but a comedy act, get off the fucking pot and release him. He's taking up space that does not need to be taken up right now when you have a bunch of people that need to get on fucking TV. Number one. And number two, the fact that you ever fucking changed his gimmick in the first place is a crying shame because the guy's actually pretty decent in the ring. But if you couldn't find space for him, why is he still here? Because now I have to watch him do this shit when I know he's capable of far fucking better. Release him and let him work somewhere else where he can actually make himself into a fucking star. Christ. There's my fucking rant about how they've utilized Brandon Cutler. I didn't agree with it when they turned the Bucks and had him be the fucking flunky, and I still don't agree with it now. It's fucking stupid. Anyway, the firm's Ethan Page, Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt Hardy with Stokely Hathaway, who was very dejected, by the way. Defeated Massive Damage, Mo Jabari, and Sebastian Wolf. You want to talk about the fucking dream jobber team here. So I'm just going to read this quick. Nothing of note happened in this match other than the beginning stuff. So there you go. Oh, and Ethan got the win with the Outsider's Edge. Or the Ego's Edge. Whatever the fuck. But I'll get to that in a minute. Man, I love the firm, this guy says. Says who? Well, I mean, they are kind of entertaining, to be fair. When they're allowed to be themselves, they're pretty entertaining, but still, I don't know. John Rogers, by the way, wrote this article on Observer. So anyway, where was I? The music hits for a big pop, because it's the Hardy Boys music, it always gets a big pop. But Page had to shut it off, as always. But he tried to get the crowd to be on his side, because he's from Canada, you see. Somebody yelled, "Shut up!" So Page called him an asshole and handed the mic over to Cassidy. Menard sounded like he feared for his life, thinking Cassidy was about to moan. He led the crowd in some moans, and they went into the ring. Cassidy got things on with Jabari, and some great wrestling. Hardy then got to deal with Wolf, who actually got the upper hand on Hardy until 3 courses of deletion started in the turnbuckles. Next, both Page and Hardy hit elbows off the top, off the middle rope, which had 0 damage, by the way. Damage distracted Cassidy while he was hitting shots in the corner, aka the shots, you know, the fucking punches, the 10 count punch, but they call it the shots because it's Private Party, you see. So Page got the hot tag and ran wild on all 3 men after Jabari kicked out at 2. Each team went in the ring, and the firm hit a triple side effect, followed by Ego's Edge for the win. Hit by Ethan Page, obviously. Hathaway went out there the whole time, but looked miserable, nervous and out of it. After the match, he got in the ring and locked in a rear naked choke on Jabari. He takes on Hook in a no DQ match on Wednesday. Oh, we get to that. He's in the little thumbnail right here. He's right here. Do you see him? He's a cold-hearted, handsome devil. He got that big-ass FTW title around him. He's a great guy. You know he's a great guy. He really likes tipping his strippers. I gotta respect that. If you hear dead air because I'm drinking sodas, deal with it. I don't give a fuck. At least it's getting done. Next matchup. Top Flight defeats... How do you even say these guys' names? I know Sean Moore. Sean Moore is easy enough. And Michael Allen, Richard Clark. I'm just going to call you Mike Clark and call it a day. So, Top Flight defeated Mike Clark and Sean Moore. Yeah, you heard that right. This guy has 4 names, which is very unique if you ask me. Yeah, so unique that I fucking shortened it to 2. Alright. What's your fucking name? Do you have 4 names on your name? I forget. Joe Rogers. I don't know, man. Joe, it might be unique to you, but to me that was way too fucking complicated and made me not give a shit. Anyway. Here we go. Uh, where were we? Yeah, turns out Wright was bleeding at the desk at the start of the match. So I'm not sure what happened there, but for the actual wrestling, oh shit, I don't know. Maybe Big Show got a nosebleed. I don't know. For the actual wrestling, Darius Martin took most of the match like he usually. Darius Martin took most of the match like he usually did and looked good. Are you sure you're not talking about Dante? I don't know. Maybe it was Darius this time. I don't remember. Clark and Moore double teamed Darius, but but he moved under for the hot tag, and Dante, who ran wild with help from his brother, ending the match with his between the legs frog splash. Yeah, the basically the three pose frog splash that he does, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, that's what he had. Yeah, this was a nothing match. Not more to say. Mike Clark, shorten your name to 2. I don't really know what else to say there. We get the Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena defeating Taylor Rising in a Proving Ground match. Okay. Sure it is. It was a Proving Ground match. Is that what all these matches have been with Athena, is Proving Ground matches? I don't know. Athena headbutted Rising immediately, taking her out. She disposed of Rising. Oh yeah, Taylor Rising is basically just a big mark for Triple H, by the way. I should just put that out there. If you wonder why it sounds like Tara Rising, there's a reason. She even hits a fucking pedigree in this match. She disposed of Rising out of the ring and threw her into the new, harder barricade, but Rising threw Athena into the steel steps. Athena was very, very, very much not happy, so she hit Rising with an Alabama slam on the concrete floor with only an inch of padding. Maybe 2 inches. Who knows? Who's counting? Back in the ring, Rising actually hit Athena with a few kicks and a pedigree for a near fall that actually got me. But Athena, that actually got you? Okay. But Athena quickly hit her double knees and then locked in the crossface for the win. After the match, Athena threw Rising over the top rope and then threw her face straight into the belt. So there you go. Taylor Rising was probably the biggest star of the show out of all the jobbers. She actually has a lot of potential, even though it's totally a fucking gimmick that's tailor-made to be a Triple H stan. She did pretty good. I thought she was a good wrestler. Good worker. Good stuff there. Dustin Rhodes and Keith Lee, who I am just going to call, just for ease, the Grey Jedi. The Grey Jedi Council. Defeated Jesse 5 and Levy Knight. This is the new team's second match together after beating Parker Boudreaux and Swerve Strickland on Rampage a few weeks back. The less said about that, the better. Thank God Parker Boudreaux is gone. They showed off some great teamwork early on. Both Jesse 5 and Knight got the worst of it from both men. Lee never even left his feet. Not even on a belly-to-belly suplex. So they just got tossed around pretty much. They finished off the night quickly for the win. Yeah, that was pretty much it. There's really not much else to say there. But yes, Lee and Rhodes are forever to be known as the Grey Jedi Council because Dustin Rhodes is a Darth Maul mark, and well, just the way Keith Lee acts is very Obi-Wan Kenobi-esque, so the Grey Jedi Council. There you go. Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver defeated the Varsity Athletes with Ari Daivari and Mark Sterling. No, that's not Mark Sterling. Excuse me. Defeated the Varsity Athletes. Wow, this is really hard to say. Hold on. I'm just going to start over. Dark Order's Alex Reynolds and John Silver defeated the Varsity Athletes, represented by Ari Daivari and Tony Nese with Mark Sterling. There we go. Jesus Christ. Daivari and Nese got a UFC-style comedic entrance from Sterling. Uh, you mean NBA, right, Joe? I think it's wrong initials. Wrong contact sport. I think it's NBA. Uh, he used the mic time to make fun of the Winnipeg Jets and their absence of retired numbers. He pointed out that Nice is a better athlete than Jets winger Blake Wheeler. No offense to Wheeler, but he's probably right. Okay, well, we can tell your remark, buddy. Sorry. Can you tell I'm not in the mood tonight? He said Davari attacked Dark Order before the bell rang. Silver fought out early, but referee Rick Knox was easily distracted by Sterling. The athletes used the opportunity to lay their boots to Silver. Silver fought back and tagged Reynolds, who hit both men on the outside and and tried to pin Davari before Nice broke it up. After Dark Order disposed of Davari, they connected on the stunner / German suplex / float over combo onto Nice for the win. And yeah, that was pretty much it. That was AEW Dark. There was really, it's a pretty good match. These teams are very good. We know that these teams are very good. It was a very decent main event for this, jobber showcase. Definitely the best match of the show, but that's not saying much. Other than that, the terrorizing match with them, Athena, the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, was pretty fun. And that was really it, man. There really wasn't much to say this week, for AEW Dark. What's up, Noah? Good job, man. We'll try to return. We'll try to return to normal next week. Yeah, no kidding, brother. I know. I would have had you come in today, but I know you got your thing going on with the multiverse, so I didn't want to freaking try to have you rush and do this one and then try to do the other one, but yeah. Anyway, back to brass tacks here. We're back to AEW Dark this week. So AEW Dark for March 21st of 2023. This week actually had some really good matches, and I could tell that they're making Dark important. They have to make Dark important by proxy, even though it really should be the other way around, considering the other one's called Dark Elevation. But hey, who's keeping track? I don't know. But you can tell they're loading this up because they have the Ring of Honor crowd, so they actually have to give decent matches on the show with some story. So I think this is what Dark is going to be. And for the lesser known stories that could actually have a decent conclusion, I ain't mad at this. I like storytelling. And we're going to get storytelling on Dark going forward. So I like it. And we'll get some really good matchups too if we don't have any story. So they'll actually try and get some guys on these shows, I'm pretty sure. So, Bullet Club's Juice Robinson takes on Leon Ruffin. Leon Ruffin locks in a side headlock on Juice Robinson. Robinson escapes before Ruffin looks for a shoulder tackle, but Robinson blocks it and sends Ruffin crashing into the top rope. He throws him to the outside, then tosses him into the barricade and flexes his biceps. He sends him into the barricade for a second time, gut first, but then sends him colliding in the ring post and gets him back in the ring. He goes for a pin on Ruffin, but Ruffin kicks out and gets in the referee's face after the fact. Ruffin manages to deliver a hanging neckbreaker, then follows it up with a lariat and cutter off the middle rope. He looks to pin Robinson, but Robinson rolls to the outside to avoid it. Robinson follows him out there and looks to get him back in the ring, but Robinson pushes Ruffin off of him. Ruffin hits a baseball dropkick under the bottom rope, then delivers a tope, suicida, and gets Robinson back into the ring. He hits a cannonball and looks for a splash off the top rope, but Robinson gets his knees up. He hits a cannonball of his own, but Ruffin manages to hit the insecurity and a roundhouse kick. Robinson fires back with a released German suplex and a left hand of God, which, by the way, that was a great fucking sell of that. He goes for the pin, but Ruffin kicks out at the last second before Robinson delivers the Juice is Loose for the win. The winner by pinfall, Juice Robinson. Really awesome match here. I think Leon Ruffin probably shows a lot more and more every time I see him. Do not be surprised if at some point on a random TV episode of Ring of Honor television or even here on AEW Dark, you will see him competing against Wheeler Yuta or somebody at some point for the PR Championship. He's really, really good at the wrestle. So that's all I got to say about that. We know how good Juice Robinson is. I can't wait for his match with Ricky Starks. Although, work on your promo skills, buddy. They're still kind of trash ever since Impact. Just gotta call it like I see it. This is gonna be a long one. Next, we actually get the match. It's Layla Gray, the only baddie left, versus Kiera Hogan. So, match starts off with a lockup, then Kiera Hogan slaps Layla Gray, then delivers several forearms and a dropkick. She follows it up with a sliding boot before Gray manages to send her crashing into the middle rope face first. Hogan hits a super kick, then Gray rolls to the outside, then she delivers a big boot onto the side of Hogan's head and rains down the hands and hits a lariat. She follows it up with a suplex, then plants Hogan's face first. Hogan delivers a series of elbows, then delivers a double sledgehammer. Gray manages to hit a rising knee strike and a running bulldog. Hogan looks for a roundhouse kick, but Gray rolls her up while holding onto her tight for the win. Your winner, Layla Gray. I'm really happy that they're actually kind of semi-concluding this. Like not totally, but they are trying. Oh boy. Give me a second, because now I have to refresh this page now, because it's being a kind of a pain in the ass. I have this weird thing where anytime I click and it just decides to freeze on me, I have to like refresh. So anyway, yeah, there we go. Now it's working. Come on. All right, it was working. Sorry, technical difficulties, folks. Am I back? Am I back to regular? All right, I'm just gonna use the scrolling option. Fuck this. All right, but yeah, as I was saying before I got so rudely interrupted by fucking technical problems. Good match. I'm really glad that they're finally like concluding stories that you otherwise would not be concluded now that Ring of Honor television's a thing on Honor Club. I'm really happy that they're doing that. I'm looking forward to seeing this AEW Dark and Ring of Honor, this Ring of Honor television format that they're going to have going on in the future. I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing so far. They're booking some pretty good matches. They're concluding stories on either AEW or Ring of Honor programming, either one. I'm really liking that they're using AEW Dark for that. That's really, really smart way to use it. So, with that being said, here's a showcase match specifically for the former Bear Country, now known as the Iron Savages. Boulder and Bronson taking on the wingmen of Ryan Nemeth and Cesar Bononi. Boulder and Cesar Bononi kick this match off with a lockup, then Bononi delivers a body slam, but Boulder returns the favor. Ryan Nemeth tags in and gets hit with one of his own before Bronson tags in and plants Nemeth with a backbreaker. He fires off a few right hands and hits a delayed underhook gutbuster, he being Bronson. Bononi tags in and delivers a knee, but Bronson's onto Bronson's midsection. Then he hits a delayed vertical suplex and a running kick. Nemeth tags in and rains down right hands. Then rakes Bronson's eyes. Bronson ascends to the middle rope and goes flying. Then tags Boulder back in. Boulder delivers a back body drop to Nemeth, then gets him up on his shoulders. Bononi charges at him, but Boulder catches him and delivers a follow-away slam Samoan drop combination. Love that move. I love it when he does it all the time. Bronson tags in, and Nemeth catches him with a DDT before going for a pin. Boulder breaks the fall and delivers a power slam to Nemeth, which looked fucking gnarly, by the way. He gets Bronson in an electric chair position, and Iron Savages hit an assisted splash for the win. Your winners are the Iron Savages. Really, really like this showcase. I like the new direction that they're going with the former Bear Country. I think these guys are going to be mainstays probably in the Ring of Honor six-man division. Now, it depends on who is going to be the third member in the Iron Savages, if there is a third member. I still, to this day, even though they're not Bear Country anymore, I stand by Paul White because it wouldn't make sense just for a little showcase deal, but even if it's just a one-off, it would be pretty cool. But whoever they decide, I think they have shots at either the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles or the Ring of Honor six-man Tag Team titles if they can find a third guy. With that said, we get to the Renegade Twins matchup. Shout out Renegade Twins, by the way. I wish they kept the NWA tag straps, but that's a whole other story. Robin and Charlotte taking on Avery, Barracks, and Mafiosa, I believe is how you pronounce that. Charlotte Renegade stomps on Avery, but Barracks hits a boot and knocks Robin Renegade off the apron. Fuck it. Renegade Twins win. They executed Bulldog Spinebuster combo for the win. It was really just your stereotypical jobber match. We know how good the Renegade Twins are, okay? There's no disputing that. Can we put them on fucking Impact for the love of God? Like, it doesn't make sense to have a fucking women's... Like, if you're gonna have a women's tag team on your roster, fine. But then fucking work out a goddamn deal with one of the indie companies that you have this forbidden door, revolving door around... and put them in a fucking company that actually has a women's tag division? Can we fucking do that? I'm not going to stop saying it until you do. Because it makes no sense otherwise. It's so dumb. Anyway. Main event. Toni Storm versus Billie Starkz. What a match this was, by the way. Toni Storm wastes no time as she delivers several stomps and tosses Starkz across the ring and delivers a hip attack that sends Starkz crashing to the outside. Boy, did she ever. She hits an elbow and a right hand and then whips her into the ring post face first. Storm tosses Starkz back in the ring, then delivers a chop and a kick. By the way, I do want to note this also. Toni is coming in with this crazy, crazy lovely robe that I'm sure King A-Train was ecstatic about, if he actually watched this. And if King hasn't, I'll send it to you later, brother, don't worry. Starkz delivers a series of right hands, but Storm delivers a knee. Starkz hits a back heel kick and several kicks across Storm's chest before Storm delivers a German suplex. Starkz ascends to the top and delivers a Senton Atomico, which is a really good senton, by the way. It was basically a swanton bomb, for those who don't know. But then goes for a pin. Storms kicks out and executes a hair whip, then mockingly kicks Starkz and slaps her. Starkz responds with a Death Valley Driver and climbs to the top, but Storm pulls her down and delivers Sweet Cheeks music. I didn't know that's what it was called. Fair enough. Then follows it up with a half and half suplex, then hits Storm Zero for the win. Winner, Toni Storm. Love it. Love this match. Love this match. Love this match. Really good showcase for Billie Starkz. The fact that she's only 18 years old and she's this good already. Jesus Christ. Go check her out on MLW, folks, if you want to know more about Billie Starkz. But really good stuff here from Toni Storm as well. Both women put on a hell of a match to close out AEW Dark. And I'm sure it kicked off the action very well into the next part of the programming for the live audience, which was Ring of Honor Television on Honor Club. So there you go. With that being said, here we go into AEW Dynamite, the show that everybody's talking about if you're an AEW fan. Oh my fucking lord, was this show absolutely insane here. So yeah, here we go. So tonight's AEW episode was broadcasted from the Cable Dahmer Arena in Independence, Missouri. Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and the Human Suplex Machine, a really human podcast machine now, but who's counting? Taz, with one Z, we're back on the broadcast team for tonight's event. It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. The show opened up with Matt and Nick Jackson. The Young Bucks are being loaded into an ambulance and transported to a hospital after an apparent attack. Holy shit. So, chaos right off the rip. They just say, yeah, Young Bucks got fucked up, and they're getting carted off to the fucking hospital. We don't know what happened to them, but they're gone. I don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened, but we assume it has something to do with the Blackpool Combat Club. Their assumptions would then later on be corrected. Anyway, with that being said, Hangman Adam Page accompanied Matt Jackson to the ambulance. Well, I believe Brandon Cutler accompanied Nick Jackson in the other ambulance. Don Callis ushered Kenny Omega back into the arena, trying to keep Kenny focused on tonight's match, which I originally was like, okay, yeah, fair enough, but Jesus Christ, why are you keeping him away from his friends? Anyway, the trios matchup coming up. Oh, excuse me. I have to burp, but it won't burp. Bear with me, folks. There we go. So we got the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy teaming with Darby Allin and Sting, taking on Kip Sabian, who is accompanied by the lovely Penelope Ford, and he's teaming with the Butcher and the Blade. What is this faction called? Do we even know? I don't even know. What is this trio called? I have no idea. The Butcher, the Blade, and the Simp. I don't know. The Butcher, the Blade, and the Streamer. I don't know. What do we call it? I don't know. What's Kip Sabian's role in that whole thing? I don't know. The Super Bad Squad, I guess, 2.0. There you go. Why not? Excuse me. There we go. There's that burp. Excuse me. Pardon me. You know the deal. Orange used an arm drag on Sabian, but Sabian landed on his feet and then cartwheeled to create distance. Orange then dropkicked Sabian, and Sabian tagged out to the Butcher. Sting tagged in. Butcher nailed Sting with the forearms, but Sting didn't budge. Sting lit up Butcher with backhands. Butcher thumbed Sting in the eye. Butcher went for a splash, but Sting moved out of the way, then countered with the Stinger splash of his own. Sting looked for the Scorpion Deathlock, but Blade and Sabian ran in to swarm Sting. Darby grabbed the tag and then connected with an explosive cold red on Kip Sabian, while Penelope Ford distracted the ref. The Blade swept out Darby's leg from the apron. Orange came into the ring with a diving crossbody and then a DDT onto Kip Sabian. The Butcher and the Blade double-teamed Orange Cassidy. Kip jumped to make cover, but Orange kicked out at 2. Sting tagged in and walloped Kip Sabian with a lariat. Sting put Kip Sabian in the Scorpion Deathlock, but Butcher and Blade double-teamed Sting. Darby took down Butcher and Blade with a double coffin drop off the middle rope. Orange wiped out Kip with the Stun Dog Millionaire. Sting finished off Kip with the Scorpion Death Drop and pinned Kip Sabian. AEW does another hot open again with Sting. Loved this match. It was a great way to open the crowd. People were excited to see Sting. And a really good tag match, really good trios match overall. I give it a thumbs up. Good stuff. There we go. AEW World Tag Team Championship match. The Guns, Austin and Colton, versus Top Flight, Darius and Dante Martin. Top Flight used tandem offense and really took it to the champs during the opening minutes of the match. From the apron, Austin grabbed a handful of hair and guillotined Dante on the ropes. Colton began to stomp on Dante in the corner turnbuckles. Austin made a blind tag, but Dante planted him with a power move for a near fall. Dante hit the nosedive. He hit him with the nosedive! Hulk Hogan! But Colton made his way to the save, breaking up the pin at the last possible movement. The Kingdom then show up, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, and they came out of nowhere to ambush Darius. The Guns blindsided Dante with a 310 to Huma. However, before that, Dante also hit a flying crossbody to wipe out the Kingdom, but because of that distraction, that's when they hit the 310 to Huma, which instead of what it used to be now is just an elevated flatliner. It's basically like if the Shatter Machine was in a flatliner. That's basically what it is now. And then pinned Dante. Top Flight chased the Kingdom through the fans. FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler came down to the ring after the match. Cash then said, "We're here to talk. We're here to talk business. If you beat us again, we will never tag together again in AEW." Dax says, "Oh, by the way," and freaking Austin's like, "No, there's nothing you can offer us. That means we would accept another match with you guys. But okay, sure." But Dax says, "If we can't beat you and win the AEW tag team titles, we'll quit AEW." Really feeding into the whole, we may not be here in another month or so. So we'll see what happens, but shit could go crazy. Shit could go hella crazy quick. But the Guns told FTR that they had a deal and that and then they spat in the faces of FTR. The champs ran out of the ring before FTR could get their hands on them. Anyway. TBS champion, oh boy. My whole thing is fucking up here. Give me a minute. There it is. Alright, TBS champion Jade Cargill was backstage with Smart Mark Sterling. Sterling said that they had a cease and desist to stop Taya Valkyrie from using Jade's finisher. Layla Gray challenged Taya to a match on Rampage this Saturday. Real quick, it was Taya's finisher before it was Jade's finisher, and before it was Taya's finisher, it was Beth Phoenix's finisher, and before it was Beth Phoenix's finisher, it was a move that Super Dragon did, which he got from Jazz. There's a history of the Grand Slam and its various variations. Anyway, there you go. So, cease and desist my ass is all I have to say to that. So anyway, after that one, though, Renee then leads it back down to the ring where Stokely Hathaway is going into a matchup here with Hook, and Jade just laughs us off like he was nothing to Jade. He was nothing to Jade Cargill, even though he was actually the best talker that anybody has ever been for her. But I digress. No DQ match here. FTW champion Hook, the champion going in, versus the Firm's Stokely Hathaway. Stokely Hathaway says Stokely Hathaway looks like a man walking to the gallows, says Excalibur. Joe, John, James, Triple J, what's up? I'm James. I'm not John. I'm not Joe. I'm not even Triple J. I damn sure ain't Jeff Jarrett. I'm James. There you go. But hello Zero, how you do? I am rushing through this review so that way it's done and out of the way. But yeah, Stokely Hathaway looking like a man walking into the gallows, said Excalibur. Stokely got on the mic before the match and said Doc Samson didn't clear him to wrestle tonight. Stokely also announced his retirement and handed the doctor's note to Justin Roberts to make it official. However, Justin Roberts regrets to inform the audience that this is a receipt from Wingstop, and the referee tore it up. Stokely Hathaway ran away from Hook, but Hook chased him down. Stokely attempted a flying uppercut. Hook sent Stokely for a ride with a shoulder capture suplex onto the arena floor. Hook pulled out a steel ring guardrail from beneath the ring. Hook popped up the guardrail up against the corner turnbuckles. Stokely blasted Hook with a fire extinguisher in the eyes, temporarily blinding Hook. Hathaway tried to hit Hook with a steel chair, but Hook countered and then suplexed Hathaway into the steel guardrail. Hook locked in the red drum after he stopped the pin after the capture suplex, and that was a referee stoppage. Hook victorious once again by submission. A dominant victory by Hook, said Excalibur. No shit. I mean, yeah, it was pretty dominant. This was a funny, fun match. I enjoyed Stokely Hathaway and his antics, and I enjoyed Hook kicking the shit out of him for it, so all good in the neighborhood from me. Definitely was good. And it looks like we're going to get an Ethan Page versus Hook match out of it, which sign me the fuck up. Okay, yeah, I'm down. I'm absolutely down. For the FTW title, especially. Adam Cole was out with a microphone next. The entire arena gave Adam Cole a standing ovation. Cole says, "We are 7 days away from me making my in-ring return to AEW. Guys, I feel freaking great. I know everyone has a lot of questions. The biggest one being who my opponent is on March 29th. Daniel Garcia's music began to play as he's walked out onto the ramp. And Garcia then says, "Who's ready for story time with Daniel Garcia, baby? Let's get the record straight, Cole. Now I'm Taz. Since you've been gone, I've become a real veteran here in AEW. I'm sure you have, Daniel. I'm sure you have. But I think you're thinking of the wrong Daniel. Personally. I've become a locker room leader. As the locker room leader, I came out to welcome you back and put you in your place. I don't know if you remember, but let me update you on a few things. Brody King beat him. Ricky Starks beat him. Bryan Danielson, I beat him too. The main event, I've main evented more AEW programming in the past year than anybody in the company. What makes you so special, Adam Cole?" And Cole replied, "What makes me so special? When they ring the freaking bell. That's what makes me special. I like you, seriously. I think you're really good, and someday you're going to be a guy that leads the change in AEW. But the company you keep, the Jericho Appreciation Society, they make you overconfident. If you aren't crazy enough to want to challenge me next week, then damn it, you're on. Adam Cole versus Daniel Garcia for the first time ever next week on Dynamite. And it won't just be a wrestling match. It'll be a statement. I hope that you realize what you're in for, because I can promise you next week that it is going to be a great night for me, for the AEW fans, but for you, not so much. I'll see you next week, Garcia." Boom. So there you go. That was the promo. Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole next week, baby. I'm ready. Let's go. I am so looking forward to this match. Great promo here, hyping up Adam Cole's return. Any Adam Cole fan is going to be tuning into this, especially if you've seen him on Chris Danker's little documentary and how he was helping out him. And he couldn't do a fucking thing in that ring, unfortunately, still, which I'm sure was heartbreaking for him, because he really wanted to help out Chris Danker, I'm sure. But with that said, Alex Marvez was backstage. Marvez walked into the Elite's locker room. Omega was upset and told Callis that he should have gone in the ambulance with his friends. Callis assured Omega that this was the best thing to happen because now Omega can focus on El Hijo del Vikingo. Omega was very torn. Yeah, you could tell that there's some influence here by the Invisible Hand. Now the Invisible Hand is turning on him. God damn it, Dawn. Why you gotta be like this? Why? Why you gotta be like this? Why? Anyway. Next match is Stu Grayson with the Dark Order. He's back! Oh my god, he's back! He's back! He's back! My boy Stu. Versus Blackpool Combat Club's Jon Moxley with Ring of Honor World Champion Claudio Castagnoli and Ring of Honor Pure Wrestling Champion Wheeler Yuta. Grayson charged at Moxley, taking the fight right to him. Moxley turned Stu around and began to chop away at him. Mox hammered at Grayson. What the fuck is going on? Hold on, guys. I'm having so many problems with this site. There's pop-up ads that are making this fucking page go crazy. Mox hammered at Grayson with forearms. Moxley used a side headlock takedown on Stu. Stu hit Mox with Hurricane Ranas. Moxley sent Grayson flying with a suplex and then a shoulder tackle, sending Stu tumbling to the arena floor. Grayson battled back with a flip dive off the middle rope onto Moxley. What a great flip dive that was, by the way. That was great. Wheeler and Yuta. That's a typo by AEW themselves. I believe they meant Claudio and Yuta began to jaw-jack with the Dark Order outside of the ring. Grayson somersaulted off the ring post onto the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club. Grayson then was looking for a nightfall, but Moxley transitioned it into a great fucking transition to the Bulldog choke. Grayson fought out of the choke and then connected with a back-flipping kick to Mox, which is the Pele kick. Grayson is battling for his life, or Grayson is battling his life off here, and he's doing an excellent job, says Taz. I'm not sure that was proper English, Taz, but I love you. Anyway, don't hurt me. Excuse me. Sorry. Just deal with it, people. Moxley dug his fingernails into the back of Grayson. Moxley spiked Stu with an avalanche Death Rider, and then pinned Stu Grayson. Right after that, we go into a Renee Paquette backstage segment with Ricky Starks. We'll get to that in a minute, though. Really good match here. I thought Stu looked great here yet again. Ever since he's come back, he's been stealing the show. It's been phenomenal. I love seeing Stu Grayson back at AEW. I'm glad he's back with his brothers in the Dark Order. His brothers, as Taz would say. Love it, love it, love it. Great matchup here. Great way to continue the story between the Dark Order and the Blackpool Combat Club, as well as Hangman and the Blackpool Combat Club, and the Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club, which is a developing story now. Renee Paquette was backstage with Ricky Starks. Starks says, straight up to Juice Robinson, I'm so sick and tired of talking back and forth. I had to come back from my vacation early just to say, Juice, if you want to fight me, you can fight me on Rampage. I'm issuing an open challenge to you. Juice, be a man or not, I don't give a damn anymore. So you could tell there's some legit frustration there from Ricky. Then, when we come back from commercial break, another episode of QTB aired, and it was announced that the TNT champion Powerhouse Hobbs would be facing Penta El Zero Miedo on Rampage this Saturday. The Outcast, Tony, they missed like a whole bunch of fucking things there. Why? There was actually some like crazy shit they were doing, but okay, fair enough. If they are gonna fucking bother to remember it, neither am I. The Outcast, Tony Storm with Saraya and Ruby Soho, versus Sky Blue. What a great fucking match this was yet again. Tony Storm with 2 good matches this week on AEW programming. Storm charged at Blue and began to kick her in the corner. Sky Blue made a comeback with elbow strikes and a dropkick. Sky Blue using a diving Hurricane Rana on Storm. Sky took oh my fucking god, stop doing that. I swear to fucking god, I'm not even kidding. Like, every time I'm trying to fucking read these notes, it just fucking, nope, it's gonna go up and it's gonna go down. It's gonna go up and then down again. It's pissing me off. Anyway, fuck off. I'm just going to read from this point again. Sky Blue made a comeback with elbow strikes and a dropkick. Sky Blue hit a diving Hurricane Rana on Storm. Sky took a moment to get her footing on the top turnbuckle, but Tony Storm knocked her down. Tony then sent Sky falling out of the ring with a hip attack. Sky rallied back with an offense to Storm, including several thrust kicks. Storm rocked Sky with a DDT. Sky connected with a Code Blue, but Storm nailed Sky with a hip attack after nailing her with the Storm Zero. Tony picked up the win against Sky Blue. The Outcasts were about to spray paint Sky after the match, but Riho and Willow Nightingale ran down to even up the odds for Sky Blue. The Outcasts went to retreat. Really good match here. Really good continuation of the storyline of the Outcasts versus the Homegrown Stars. This match was probably the best Sky Blue match I've seen since she's been on AEW. I'm not even kidding. Like, this match was so fucking good. Not as good as the fucking main event, obviously. That was the match of the fucking entire week. But this match was really good. This was probably the best women's match of the entire week of AEW programming. Go out of your way to watch it. Go out of your way to watch both Tony Storm's matches in the main event of AEW Dark and the semi-main here on Dynamite. Really good stuff all around here. Really good, and here we go. We go backstage to where Stu Grayson is being tended to by the AEW medical staff, specifically, this is very important here, Doc Samson. But Doc Samson also gets attacked by the Blackpool Combat Club because he gets a shoulder right to the shoulder. Stu has no clue. He's none the wiser. And Moxley just goes, it's just business, nothing personal. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Gets him with the Bulldog Choke, and the Blackpool Combat Club stomp out Stu Grayson while he is down and out. and they just bullied him. They bullied Grayson, and I'm mad. I like Claudio, and I like the Blackpool Combat Club, but this shit makes me mad. I don't like this. This is a very mean business. Owen says it every week on this channel, man. It's a very gruesome, cruel, mean, unusually mean business. I don't know why we're watching. It's very, very mean. It's very rude. So many rude people. I hate rude people. Anyway, jokes aside. Main event. Kenny Omega with Don Callis versus AAA Mega Champion El Hijo del Vikingo. Holy shit. I don't even know where to begin. I'm so glad there's notes on this. Whew. Alright. Vikingo went over the top and crashed onto Omega right out of the box with the tope con hilo. Omega hammered back at Vikingo with some forearms and kicks. Vikingo came back with an implosion Hurricane Rana and then a knee strike through the ropes. The fans started chanting, this is awesome, right off the rip. Vikingo used a shooting star press off the apron onto Omega to the arena floor. Vikingo tried for a pin after a 450 splash on Omega. Kenny came back with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker on Vikingo. Omega pulled a table out from underneath the ring. Omega set up the table onto the arena floor. Vikingo took down Omega with a Rana. They began to trade chops onto the ring apron. Omega sent Vikingo crashing onto the apron with a monkey flip, and this monkey flip was so fucking gnarly. It was a monkey flip, Van Damme style, on the apron, and Vikingo just fucking took this apron bump. I couldn't believe what I saw here. What a rough landing for Vikingo, said Excalibur. You think, X? Vikingo sent Omega flying out of the ring with a Dragon Rana. Oh boy, did he ever. Vikingo countered an awesome bomb and then hit a Phoenix Splash from the middle rope, springboard style, for a near fall on Omega. 2.999999 and Infinium. Unbelievable, says Excalibur. The fans began to chant, fight forever, fight forever. Omega caught Vikingo with a powerbomb and then hit the V-trigger for a 2 count. Omega hoisted up Vikingo for the one-winged angel, but Vikingo escapes and then hits Omega with the swan dive, reverse Hurricane Rana. Vikingo crashed down onto Kenny through the table after a 630 senton from the middle rope. And I'm talking, this motherfucker did bouncing off the ropes like he was going to do a Terminator dive, then sprung into what was going to be a tope con hilo into a fucking 630 through the goddamn table set up on the outside earlier. Holy shit, what a fucking gnarly spot. I thought he broke his neck, by the way, because if you take a look at the replays, his neck actually hit the fucking apron. I'm shocked he didn't neck himself here. The fans erupted, chanting AEW, AEW. Vikingo grabbed the near fall after a sunset bomb on Omega, which was also fucking great. Vikingo climbed to the top rope, hit a 630 senton, but Omega dodged it this time. Omega then rocked Vikingo with the V-trigger and then pinned him with the one-winged angel, securing his spot for a future AAA Mega Championship match. I assume at a AAA Mega event. Spectacular owning by both men. Wow, says Taz. Tony Schiavone came to the ring to interview Kenny Omega after the match. Before we even get to the post-match shit, god damn, what a fucking clinic this was. Like, you could say whatever you want about Omega, man, but he gave everything to this guy, and he made this guy a star on U.S. soil. I want to see more Vikingo. And I'm going to see more of Vikingo one way or the other. This guy fucking rules. I hope we see more of him. And we're going to get to see more of him because it's him versus Commander at Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. Which, by the way, if you didn't hear, and we'll show it in the plugs later on, I get to call that shit. That's fucking nuts. I get to call that shit. So there you go. So yeah. Tony Schiavone came to the ring to interview Omega after the match. Omega says, the more time goes by, the more I wonder if I'm going to be able to do stuff like this for you fans. Right after he says this shit, the Blackpool Combat Club bum rush the ring and do a triple team and exhaust Kenny Omega. Sirens began echoing throughout the arena. It was the ambulance arriving to the arena. Hangman Adam Page has stolen an ambulance and exited from behind the wheel with weapon in hand. I'm pretty sure that's Grand Theft Auto, by the way, Adam Page. You might be arrested next week, bud. Hangman Adam Page came down to the ring, and the Blackpool Combat Club jumped out. Don Callis grabbed Page's arm and then acted as if Page knocked him to the mat. You could tell Callis is trying to fucking just get Kenny away from this shit, man. You could tell. He's already trying to replace Kenny Omega with Konosuke Takeshita, and now I'm seeing where that story is going here. Kenny didn't see that Callis fell himself down, and when Kenny got to his feet, he was infuriated by the perceived action of Hangman Page. He thought Hangman Page assaulted Don Callis with the weapon. Catch AEW Dynamite on TBS next Wednesday at 8, 7 Central if you want to see the fallout from this fucking episode. And what a fucking episode it was. Holy shit. Really awesome Dynamite. Not as based as last week's, but I'd still give it about an A. Maybe an A-. Really good show overall. By the way, the other two shows, D+ on the first one. It was really not anything to write home about. And I'd say B- on the other. Really good dark that week. So there you go. But yeah, A- on this show. And then we're going to be on to the B+ show, which is AEW Rampage for March 25th. On a Saturday this time, not a Friday night. So, tonight's AEW Rampage was also in the same arena in Independence, Missouri. Saturday, and you know what that means. Tonight's announced team was Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Jim Ross. Howdy, howdy. My ass, boom, boom. There we go. TNT Championship match. Powerhouse Hobbs with the rest of the QTV crew. With Penta El Zero Miedo with Alex Abrahantes. They exchange strikes at the beginning of the match. Penta El Zero Miedo blasts Hobbs with a thrust kick and then a drop kick, sending Hobbs tumbling out to the floor. Penta El Zero Miedo was about to rocket out of the ring, but Hobbs countered it with a stiff forearm. He followed up by ramming Penta El Zero Miedo into the ring post. Hobbs smashed Penta El Zero Miedo. Why do they keep saying it over and over? I'm just going to say Penta. It's so dumb. Hobbs smashed Penta with a backstab, or a backbreaker rather. QT Marshall tied up Penta's masks to the bottom rope as Hobbs distracted referee Aubrey Edwards. Hobbs stomped Penta, then targeted the back with a delayed vertical suplex. What a great delayed, by the way. That was a great fucking suplex. Penta then fired back with a backstabber, and Hobbs gets a near fall. Hobbs gains the upper hand after planting Penta hard in the mat. Penta then gets Hobbs wobbling on 2 thrust kicks, then follows up with a dive over the top rope and crashing on Hobbs. Penta then lands on Hobbs twice with a diving foot stomp for a 2 count. Aaron Solo got involved in the match, but Penta stuffed him with a Made in Japan, the package pile driver that he always hits. As the ref was dealing with the QTV crew's interference, Hobbs blindsided Penta El Zero Miedo, cracking him across the side of the head with the TNT title belt, and then pinned him. Rey Fenix ran down with a hammer to fend off the rest of QTV for causing a beatdown after the match. And him and Alex Abrahantes go to check on Penta after the fight. So yeah, good matchup here. I always liked, I don't know, like, I enjoyed the Penta match, but I'd probably say the Rey Fenix match I thought was better, just because I think the big man, little man dynamic always works. Always fucking works with the, Powerhouse Hobbs. It did with Dante and him. It did with fucking Rey and him. But this was alright. I enjoyed it. It was a good match. Good TNT title match. From there, we go to Absolute Ricky Starks coming to the ring. Starks says, "I'll be honest, I'm not in the mood for any more talking. Juice Robinson, bring your ass out here right now." As he says, as Ricky Starks can only say. Juice Robinson walks out to the ramp with a microphone. Juice says, "Are you calling me out?" If it's an ass beating you want, say no more. Asking you shall receive, sweet boy. This promo sucks. This promo sucks. This promo sucks. This promo sucks. I've got to be honest. This is probably the low light of the entire week, by the way. I'm not even kidding. Like, it was so bad. And I watched Dark Elevation this week, and it was pretty dull. Juice Robinson walks to the ring, but stopped short. Juice turned his back and began walking to the back of the locker room, but Starks ran out and stopped Juice Robinson. Juice managed to escape, and he said he wouldn't wrestle Starks here, but he made him on April 5th. So, April 5th is a week away. So, not this week, but the following week on Dynamite. Got it. Cool. So, yeah, that's when we'll see that match. Good. I gotta tell you, keep fucking Juice away from the mic, because the more he talks, the more I care less about that match. Anyway, House of Black's Brody King versus Jericho Appreciation Society's Jake Hager. Now, for those who are wondering why Brody King was replaced last week when it was supposed to be Buddy Matthews, apparently, and this was reported on ATW View, that's when I first heard it, because Eric always keeps up with the news. I never do. Apparently, Buddy Matthews is out with an injury. I don't know for how long. I don't know if it's a serious injury. I don't know if he'll be back in time for Double or Nothing. I don't know if he'll be back sooner than that. But that is why Brody King has been inserted into these matches, and why we also have this matchup here this week. So yeah, there you go, in case you were wondering what was going on with Buddy Matthews. Hager shoved Brody, and Brody shoved right back. Brody threw big shots at Hager, and then took Hager off his feet with a double-handed chop. Hager whipped Brody King into the steel barricade, and then, for good measure, sent Brody careening into the barricades again. Back in the ring, Hager tried for the ankle lock, but Brody rolled out of it. Brody attempted a cannonball in the corner, but Hager dodged it. Hager went for the Hager bomb, but Brody got his boots up. Brody nailed Hager with the discus lariat for a near fall. Shout out Brody Lee, forever exalted. Anna J.A.S. I'm just going to call her Anna J. I'm not calling her by that. Anna J ran down and to the ring and whipped Julia Hart into the steel ring post. But despite that, Brody King planted Hager with an all-searing eye to pin him. I believe that's his finish. I don't remember what that finish is exactly, but that's how he beat him. So yeah, good match here again. I actually really like this big man contest. Again, I think people sleep on how improved Jake Hager has been when he's allowed to just be himself. And I'm not just talking about on the mic per se, but specifically in the ring. Like, he's actually very underrated of how much he's improved, especially when paired with the right opponent. But yeah, really good matchup here. I enjoyed it. Thumbs up from me. So, from there, we get Taya Valkyrie versus Layla Gray with the TBS champion Jade Cargill and Smart Mark Sterling in Layla Gray's corner. So, before I continue, let me just bring this down so I can read the rest. Cool. There we go. I believe that's everything else. So, yeah. Gray shoved Taya, but Taya, oh, by the way, real quick, this is my gimmick, how could I forget? God bless Taya Valkyrie. There we go, done. Gray shoved Taya, but Taya didn't back down. Taya cracked Gray with a shot. Sterling jumped onto the apron to distract Taya Valkyrie, but Taya spiked Layla with the Road to Valhalla to pin her, completely ignoring the cease and desist letter by Mr. Smart Mark Sterling. Some lawyer you are, buddy. Sterling entered the ring with a clipboard. He had the cease and desist letter with him, but Taya paid no mind, smashing Sterling with a Road to Valhalla. And Excalibur says, I see a collision between Jade and Taya is inevitable. Yeah, you damn right, and I'm ready for it. Let's go. I'm so ready to see this match because everybody says, oh, Jade sucks. No, wait until you see this match. I'm telling you, Jade's very much improved. It's just that she has not been able to show what she can really do in that ring right now. Taya's going to get that out of her. Trust and believe you me. So with that being said, we're on to the main event. The Acclaimed By the way, the match was kind of a nothing match. You knew who was going to win. Sorry. I like you, Layla. You look nice, too, but, God bless Taya Valkyrie. The Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, with Daddy Ass in their corner, versus the Kingdoms, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, with Maria Kanellis Bennett in their corner. Angelo Parker and Matt Menard joined the broadcast booth for this match, which means we got to hear that awesome theme of theirs. So thumbs up by me already. The Kingdom double team Caster in the corner. Bowens grabbed the blind tag and Caster hit a neckbreaker, backbreaker combo on Bennett. The Acclaimed isolated Mike Bennett and dropped the scissor me timbers on Bennett. Taven connected with a back heel kick to Caster. Bennett and Taven mocked Billy Gunn. Maria grabbed the boot of Max Caster to distract him. Maria slid her boot inside the ring to Taven. Top Flight were on the ramp and escorted Maria to the back. The referee took the boot away from Taven. Bowen, and right afterwards too, as Maria's getting backed up, Bowens took Bennett with a series of shots, and then he connected with a rolling elbow shot to Taven. Bowens used the arrival, and then Caster hit the mic drop to pin Taven. The Jericho Appreciation Society contingent on commentary, specifically Matt Menard, since he does commentary on AEW Dark, really, 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 really enjoyed this. And they were told by Chris Jericho on commentary while the match was going on, they're allowed to use Chris Jericho's very expensive card to take the Acclaimed on a night on the town as sports entertainers do. The Acclaimed overcame the interference from Maria, said Excalibur. No shit. Why do you not, give a shit, AEW, about your goddamn match breakdowns? No shit. Of course. I saw it with my eyes, X. I know that's exactly what fucking happened. Cool. Nice. Maybe it just looks worse in writing. I don't know. But yeah, that was Rampage. I give Rampage a B+. It was a pretty solid show. Nothing to write home about, but nothing too offensive. And they had some decent little matches there. So B+ for me, I think, is more than fair. But yeah, that was this week's AEW Dynamite. That was this week's AEW content. So yeah, pretty good overall week. I'd say week 12 was definitely a building block for the future. For those who are wondering right away, no, I'm not going to be talking about the CM Punk stuff, even though I am wearing a CM Punk t-shirt right now. I'm not going to talk about it because until more information is before, I want to make sure that information comes out properly before I just jump the gun like a lot of these other podcasters are doing. We don't want to fucking take the... long and short of it is, until Punk is released or comes on my television, I ain't saying shit. Then I'll fucking talk about it. When he's on my television, that's when you hear me say something. Until then, I'm not jumping the gun like Wrestling Hub and Wrestle Talk and all these other fucking people. I'm not doing it like fucking Wrestling Observer wants to and fucking trying to cancel him. Because quite frankly, I will say, I'm sick of the cancel culture bullshit. Fucking JD, you're the biggest fucking offender. JD from New York specifically. You're the biggest offender of that shit. Enough of this goddamn garbage. Just let it be. Let it fucking play out. I'll comment from then. Whatever happens, happens. Alright? When Punk gets released or Punk shows up on my television, that's when you will see me or Noah or King talk about that shit on this program. Period. End sentence. Cool. I know what Jon Moxley said about him. I'm not saying a goddamn word about it until he shows up on my television. That's it. Full stop. Cool. So with that being said, I think this week is pretty much concluded in record time, considering it is only one person, in an hour and 14 minutes and 14 seconds, now 15 and 16. We're going to go into these promo packages here for what's upcoming for FTW Productions and our friends of FTW Productions. We're basically going to be plugging away, but we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. I only got 2 links that I'm going to be sharing into the live chat. Otherwise, while that's airing, you could check out this, what's upcoming for FTW Productions.
Scan the QR codes to see what's upcoming for FTW Productions and what's available on demand right now. Button Master Stable Wars entire playlist. AEW Revolution Go Home Week, Dynamite and Rampage watch parties. Mistress Audio dramatic readings featuring voice actors from Weymouth Youth Wrestling. Elimination Chamber retrospective. All WrestleMania-themed retros by Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Let's Play series. WrestleMania 19 Revenge Mode Let's Play series. All of A Simple Man's Brand Simply Predicting panels. Both episodes of The Don DeMarco Show. AEW Spark, WWE Aftershock, every show week by week. The entirety of the NASCAR Thunder 2004 Let's Play series. Past and upcoming Jeff Meacham Network watch-along coverage. FTW Productions watch party for WrestleMania Go Home Raw. A Simple Take, WWE Simple Takes featuring Cassidy 18 Studios. Super Mario Bros. Z voice acting. Episode 3 coming soon. Breaking news. ATW View Impromptu. WYW Intro and Immortal Stream. Wrestling with Idiocy Episode 7. Our favorite WrestleMania matches. Plugs have concluded. On to the video.
So that is what is coming up here on FTW Productions all across all of our friends of FTW Productions and FTW Productions as a whole. You could also subscribe to CM Brothers down below in the description, and subscribe to CM Brothers, which will become... Wait, did I say CM Brothers? Subscribe to Own the Talkinator, and also subscribe to CM Brothers. As CM Brothers, that's going to basically be, within the start of next month, the new main hub for FTW Productions. More on that will be announced as you hear it from everybody else's perspective. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Make sure you tune in next week for some more AEW Spark coverage. Hopefully we get back to normal, as Noah said. Hopefully it will be Noah Foster and myself, and we'll get AEW Spark done. But it got done this week by hook or by crook. And until next time, we will see you guys for the next AEW Spark. And as Noah always says, just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling, for we are AEW. See you next time.
Podcast has concluded. Be sure to check out more group discussion as far as AEW content is concerned, and check out more content from For the Win Productions.